Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another Prolonged Fast podcast episode. With me here today, we have Victor.
Whoop whoop whoop
Yay!
whoop whoop whoop.
Engin.
Hello, everyone. Hey, everybody, it's
Yay!
me, Marco. Sorry.
Yanis.
Hello.
Shut up, Engin.
I'm the
And
FNAF player.
Zide.
Zaid,
Hello, hello.
Yay!
hello, we're back.
Today we are talking about the Prodigal series, the
Yes,
man, the
the
myth, the
myth,
legend,
the
Scott Cawthon's
legend.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
My favorite episode. This will go down in
Ooh.
history because we
Mhm.
are all very interested in the FNAF lore, and in this episode we'll explain
The
kind
FNAF
of like
lore.
what FNAF is, and then
The
just kind of
FNAF.
talk about how it is and shit.
The FNAF lore.
The FNAF lore.
Hello.
The
This will
full
be
So
really
for
hard.
those
FNAF
who
lore
are
timeline.
The floor.
unfamiliar, I'm sure there's at least
The
some of you who
floor.
don't quite know what this is
Shut up again.
in reference to or what we're talking about.
No.
FNAF, Five Nights at Freddy's,
The
Right
FNAF.
now,
is a
Horror.
horror franchise
Okay, you
starting
told
off
me
with
to
some
shut
video
up, Victor.
games,
Here you are.
some books. Shut up! And and the movie, a movie that came out. I'm sure most of you know about the
It's
FNAF
so
movie.
good.
But there's lots of games, there's lots of
It's not
books,
that
and
good.
it's meh. We
Everything's
can make a
so
whole
good.
episode arguing about the movie. I'm sure,
The
but
movie is the best. They
but
say
we have
they had
a huge, wide variety here of stuff, of content, and we can't cover all of it. So, for example, with the books, there's novels and there's short stories, and
The
there's so much
movie.
stuff. We don't have time for all of that. So we're going to go over mostly the games while using book info and material when we can to kind of give an overview of what this franchise is about, what's happening in it for people who are interested, and for people who just want to kind of know what is this new, I guess, cultural phenomenon that's getting its own movies and
For people who've been living
showcases
under a
on like
rock for the
PS5
past 5 years
trailers.
or 10.
yes. It is the new hit top indie simulator that has come out in the recent
Simulator.
decades.
Huh?
Yeah, it
Wait,
simulates.
is FNAF
Child
10 years
murder
old
simulator.
already?
Huh?
I think the 10-year
It's 10
anniversary
years
game
old,
is
yeah.
into the pit, right?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. But
Yeah.
FNAF has inspired like a whole
Oh, wow.
franchise,
August 8th is the anniversary.
a whole like
Is
industry.
it? Hold on, wait. Five Nights at Freddy's 1, 2, 3, 4, World, Sister Location, Pizzeria
What
Simulator,
are you counting?
Ultimate Custom Night, Help Wanted,
Ruin,
AR, Help Wanted
Plus,
2,
you're forgetting Fury's
Security
Rage.
Breach,
ruin.
Furry Rage.
And there is another
That's like
one, I
12,
think. Well,
13 games. So like,
isn't
Damn.
even
there
if we
also
don't count all the
Freddy
like
in
troll
Space?
games,
Yeah,
yeah,
if you
Freddy
don't
in
count the
Space.
troll game.
I love
It's
the
like 12
troll.
or 11 games.
Yeah, that's a whole
In 10
whole
years.
batch, whole big
Victor, you
batch.
say you love the troll games. Name me the troll game.
There's
Alright.
horror 1, and then there's horror
Alright.
2, and then
I
there's
bet that's what they were.
3, and it goes on
For
for
those who
eternity.
don't know, the horror that's just it's a piece of music that is used often in Five Nights at Freddy's.
So
It's not
when
even a
Corridor
piece
March.
of music from the actual game, because
it is, and when like
no,
you're
Yeah.
but it
gonna
is.
die.
But Freddy doesn't sing it out. There's the little music box. He doesn't go up in your face and start humming.
Yes, he does. Just he goes
I
up
think
to
Engin, you
Victor
haven't
might have
played
been
the
on
games.
shrooms when he was
Victor?
playing FNAF.
Engin, you
Victor.
haven't played the games.
My
You
bad.
wouldn't
I played the games, and by playing the games, I
Okay.
mean I watched someone play it.
know. Did we explain what
Markiplier.
FNAF is?
Mm-hmm.
So
Like-
okay, so what are
How
we?
many
What exactly
people
are
have
we talking
actually
about?
played
Okay,
the
so
FNAF games? I've dabbled in them.
a couple.
Barely.
Yeah. So the point of this
They are
franchise is
sitting
that
in
there are
my Steam library,
animatronics.
waiting there.
What are animatronics defined as? Hold on. What's
Robots
the actual?
that walk.
Robot animals.
Isn't it like, yeah, robot animals that perform and sing music and have children stuffed inside?
An
Um,
animatronic is a
Yeah, that
mechatronic
sounds about
puppet.
right.
Sure. Okay, so animatronic is just like robot character person. Okay, for anyone who needs a definition.
Personification.
And there are
Shut up.
shut up. There are anthropomorphization. There are
Not a
in the
word.
first games. Well, no,
Yes, it
FNAF
is.
2 has like infinite
Say it,
characters.
Richard.
There's so many characters in FNAF 2, but FNAF 1 has
Aren't there like 12 in FNAF 2?
Freddy,
There's
Foxy,
6 in FNAF 1.
It's the main four.
yeah,
The FNAF
It's
four.
not
Freddy,
five.
Foxy, Chica,
And Golden Freddy.
Bonnie,
Oh, there's 5. Oops.
Golden
I
Freddy,
thought there was 5
and
for some
is
reason.
there anything else?
No.
No, right?
The
Yeah.
main
Um,
5
so,
people.
Shouldn't
The
we talk
Freddy
about what FNAF
Fazbear.
is to like begin with? That might be a
What
good
is it?
starting.
Well, it's a horror franchise. I mean, it's a jump scare horror franchise.
Yeah, if you have,
Let's
child
talk about
if
the
you,
gameplay.
if you haven't
know?
seen
Well,
like
Engin, there
any
is no
FNAF,
gameplay. Come on.
if you haven't seen
There
even,
is. So,
yeah, shut up. If you haven't seen even a bit of FNAF, I feel like you're just not a human. You've lived under a rock for way too long. You've been like in the
It
dark
sparked
ages,
a
bro.
whole. It sparked a whole genre of games. Basically.
Yeah, like literally all those Poppy
Some
Playtime,
of them
Yeah,
were
there's
Fan
the
games.
Scott.
Garden of Bang
There's
Bang.
the whole Scott Cawthon fan game like fund where he like gives money to some like good
Yeah,
FNAF fan
and
games.
there's, like,
There's so
loads of
many good
FNAF
FNAF
fan games.
fan games as well.
Yeah.
So much shit.
Yeah, so if you've never heard of it,
Yeah, you're not a
sorry,
human.
Yuri,
I'm
go,
sorry.
Go watch Matt
You've-
Pet or something.
You've been degraded.
Okay, but let me just talk about it. Give a quick recap.
Alright.
It was made the first FNAF game, made in August 8th, 2014, by the solo indie developer Scott Cawthon. Scott Cawthon was a Christian
Are you just
man,
reading off
and-
Wikipedia?
Oh, I know this. The only thing I read off the internet was like the August 8th, 2014, because I just googled that earlier.
Alright.
He was a Christian man, and he made like lots of other indie games before this. Most of them were like
Hell Simulator.
RPGs
Heaven
or
Simulator.
platformers. No,
Oh,
he
okay.
didn't
They
make
were
religious
nicer
work.
games.
He was just
Like they were
religious,
like
but he kept
colorful,
it away
like
from
cool,
religion.
cool stuff. They weren't like all horrible.
He did make
horror
some
games,
animated
but no one cared.
like videos about like Bible stories, I think. And yeah, most of the games before this were like RPGs and platformers. But his game prior to FNAF was Chipper and Sons Lumber Co. And I think like one or two of the reviews said the characters in that game looked like scary animatronics.
FNAF.
So he took
I've
this
heard of that
criticism to heart, and he came up with the idea for Five Nights at Freddy's as his last indie game, because he'd been trying for quite a while now, but he never got anything to really succeed. So most of his games are being made out of his own pocket money, instead of like
Pocket money.
generating any income. So yeah, he made Five Nights at Freddy's as his last game, after which he would have quit. But it actually became super successful, and he's probably up there with Bezos now.
Bezos the
I think he
god.
does have like some millions, if I remember correctly.
Probably
I don't
not
know,
that
he
much,
hasn't,
but he
like,
does
been very
have
public,
quite a
but,
bit.
like,
I mean, he
it's
has
like
a whole
he has
movie
like game
again,
developing
like, come on.
studios and stuff. He has
But like not
movies.
Jeff
Yeah, he has
Bezos
money.
level.
He's like a trillionaire. We all know this fact.
All right.
That's true.
So the FNAF game itself is like a resource management survival horror game where you're stuck in an office with spooky animatronics coming to get you, and the only thing you have to protect yourself are
And
the
they say,
doors.
"Hor."
And no, they don't do that. You have the doors to close when they're at your office, and the light to check whether they're there or not, and also cameras to see where they are elsewhere in
Yeah,
the pizzeria.
and your missions survive until
And
6 a.m.
Yeah. You have to survive 5 nights.
5 nights until 6 a.m.
In
You
the
begin.
pizzeria.
Actually, usually
and
there's more than 5 nights
Each
in almost every
night
game.
adds
But yeah,
more
you have to survive
characters
5
to the
nights.
roster, and it becomes more difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's-
Or the
that's-
characters become stronger or more aggressive
And
or
you have to
something.
manage your battery.
That's basically the
Because-
whole game. Oh,
Yeah.
FNAF 2 didn't have battery, did it?
They had the mask.
They had
and
the
the
Yeah,
music
mask.
Yeah, FNAF 2 doesn't have like doors to open or close in the same way, so it doesn't
Yeah,
Battery
yeah.
is
use
pretty
the same
good
battery
thing.
mechanic.
We'll talk about that later, though.
Yeah. The only interesting thing is that battery is consumed when you close your doors, but not when you hold them up, which is interesting. But you know, that's
Also, when you
you
shine
can
your light
find
and
like
use the camera.
studies on that people talk about how that doesn't make any sense. So like that's like a thing that's been talked to death in the FNAF community. Yes, we are all insane. We spend our time counting animatronic toes.
Yes. We love them toes.
So the first game was like a shock hit. Wow, it worked out. So then he made a second game in like 3 months or something.
That's
It was like
crazy.
literally a few months, and then you get like the next game. I
Five
think
Nights
was
at
it in the
Freddy's
same
2
year?
It might have been the
Uh,
same year.
I think
Probably.
almost all the games from the original 4 are like spaced only a few months apart.
Yeah. There's like
They're
maybe like
only
max 4 or
a
5
bit
months.
more spaced than Garden of Banban.
He was just pumping those out. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Bro was
Well, it's because
on his
the
prime.
gameplay is all the same, so he just had to like
Yeah, I guess you could just
basically just
reuse
retexture the
everything.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like he's not like
Mhm.
remaking the game concept. He's just like making the
But they're
settings
all
different
different
and
a
making
bit,
the
right?
characters
They are.
different.
But I
They
guess the
have
main
slightly different
system.
mechanics.
Five Nights at Freddy.
Nah, like sorta, but like it's all the same like basic gameplay. So like it's not like he's like converting it to a different style of game. Also,
Yeah.
they're all JPEGs.
Five Nights, FNAF
Did-
2 released in the same year as FNAF 1, and then FNAF 3 and 4 released in the same year in 2015.
4 is the best
Did
one.
did FNAF 5 take longer? I think it did.
FNAF
Yeah,
5
because it
Mhm.
has like
location?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there was FNAF World in between. I think
Oh.
that was
yeah.
Yeah. Not gonna lie,
Also,
I really like FNAF World.
FNAF World is
that,
actually really interesting. Looking
FNAF
at
people that's
Scott's past
just
games.
yeah.
Yeah, you
FNAF
can see
everyone
he
like
actually
hates
really
on
liked
FNAF
RPGs.
World. Like,
But I really like
for
it,
those who
man.
don't know,
It's just a fun little game
for
that
those who
has
don't
a
know,
What
FNAF
is
World
FNAF
is
World?
like FNAF
It's
World
a
is a
top-down
game where you get like
RPG.
characters.
Um,
Yeah, it's like you
With-
travel around
with-
this world and there's like problems and you need to fix them with your little FNAF characters. It's like kind of Pokemon-esque
turn-based
combat
question
system.
mark.
yeah.
Yeah,
The
kinda.
combat is
Like
turn-based. You just kind of move
it's
around.
well, it's not turns.
It
It's
doesn't
like
even. It doesn't feel turn based because you're always. Something's always happening. You're gonna die.
yeah, it's
if you
not
don't move.
turns. You just have like choice to attack, and like the other person is also attacking every like
Yeah,
5 seconds or
they're
whatever.
attacking by time, and you have the choice. Like they're not affected by your like decision to attack. They're like based on
They're
like a
on like their own
cooldown.
clock.
Yeah. So if you don't attack, you just lose
I
because
think I remember
it's
this.
constantly doing.
I remember watching it at
damage
least.
too. That's what kind of makes it hard.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting game.
Also,
Unfortunately, it's no longer available due
oh,
to
it is. You
It
just
is.
gotta be smart.
it's a little
Just
more
search it up on
difficult.
Google.
Oh,
No, it's
yeah.
not that hard. Just search it up on Google and you get it.
Bro.
It's
Why
probably-
Yeah,
is it
there's
free,
a
by the way?
thing you need to put in like a code.
It's easier
Yeah,
to
Scott
get than
Calton
any
wasn't very
other
proud
game.
of this game, so he
Why?
like he like pulled it back because people were whining about
Yeah,
it, and then he
because
pulled it
people were,
back,
like,
and he had
complaining.
said like because people paid for it originally, it wasn't a free game, and
Oh.
with Steam the rule is like what is it, 2 hours of gameplay, and then you can't return it. But
Yeah.
like he talked to Steam, and he was like got it so that people can return it even if they had played longer than that, and then he said he was going to release like a free version along with an update because he like felt bad about like how the community received it, and like he was like, okay, I'll kind of spruce it up. So it shows that he definitely cares about the community, and like he's kind of part of the community. He's not kind of, with a lot of big companies, you have this kind of, they're separate. Like EA
Yeah.
gets complaints from the community, and they're like, whatever. But like
Mhm.
Scott, he was just a guy back then, and even now he's still very like interactive with the community.
Mhm, definitely.
But the
Very
thing is, he's not
responsive,
just
I've
a
seen.
guy now.
I thought he retired actually though.
Well, he's
He,
retired from
like,
like making
he re-
the games,
yeah,
but he's not like he's not stopped like being the story guy.
But I'm
He's
pretty
just
sure
not, like,
doesn't he also like kind of direct the games?
yeah, like he's still the
Yeah.
guy like making sure that the story is the way he wants it, but he's not specifically making them anymore. Like he's
I
not
don't-
like the
This
guy
guy-
making them.
Yeah, I don't
This
think he
guy is
codes the games
never-
anymore.
This guy's never gonna end his story, I swear.
Yeah.
3 more books
Yeah,
series.
I think that kind of brings us to the point, the story or the lore, as it's called, of Five Nights at Freddy's, which is most people the most
Yes!
interesting part.
This is the whole point. Like everyone likes the games and they're fun, but if you're a FNAF fan, you're only here for one reason and one reason: the lore.
Well,
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like
the FNAF
the FNAF
games.
thing works until you've seen it like 5 times, then you stop caring. That's why you need the lore to like keep people interested.
Yeah. But the lore got people's attention.
They
like,
still
so-
they still have their attention.
Yeah. I know.
To this day.
I mean, it was the first game that had like this concept of having like like a game like a simple game with like stuff that happens in like some characters, but then there's like more like
I think it's
secret
because
stuff happening in the back.
Scott understands. Scott really understands the internet. So like what he has is all these like little small events that are like really rare chance of happening. Like Golden Freddy appears and says it's me, or whatever, stuff like this. And like most people don't get that, or maybe they only get one of those. But like then they all go to the forums and they talk about it, and like he understands how like information works on the internet better.
Yeah.
Because like if you have like some basic Easter eggs, people are gonna find out really quickly, and it's like that's it,
Sparky
you
the
know.
dog.
So if you want to
Yeah.
keep like secrets and like
Especially
mystery, you
during
need to
the
do it
early days of
differently.
the internet, that kind of like rumors and things were kind of
Hero
what propelled it,
Brine.
because nowadays you can kind of tell what's real or not, but when FNAF was first
Yeah.
out, it was actually pretty
Harm,
difficult.
actually,
Yeah, all the copy pasta like times
What, Victor?
let's try. Yeah,
back
bro.
then. Yeah,
Sparky the
but yeah, so
dog
the
is canon.
lore or the yeah, the lore or the story as it were of the FNAF games is, to put it really really shortly, just so we can have a basic idea here. There's a guy called William Afton, and he
Oh,
murders children and he puts them in animatronics, and then stuff happens, and then eventually he dies inside one of those animatronic suits, but his soul, his remnant, sticks to it, so he's sort of immortal and lives forever, kind of thing. And then people chase him around, try to get rid of him, try to burn him, but he doesn't die. And the whole thing is that he's not yet dead, and everyone hates him now because he's just been stucking around for like the last 10 games. He's never dying.
oh, spoiler alert, guys. Yeah, just don't listen to that to Nicholas's part.
Clicking on this video was a spoiler alert.
Well,
Oh
yeah,
yeah. If you don't want spoilers, just forget everything Nicholas said.
yeah. Just have
Yeah, I guess that's
Alzheimer's.
the way to
Do
do
a
it.
memory wipe.
Yeah, develop.
Look into this
It's
device,
the Men
please.
in Black, you know, like
Yeah,
yeah.
The
I didn't want to.
neuralizer.
I didn't want to interrupt my guy, so I just let him speak, and then I said spoiler after.
But yeah, so that's like the very, 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 very,
Very,
very basic story, and
yeah, and that goes really deep. Things just go
yeah, there's all
crazy after
sorts of
that.
weird stuff that
Like we
happens.
don't even know the chronological
Yeah,
order of the
we're not
game.
sure which kids die first and when they die and
Some
what their name is.
some animatronics said that they died. There was the first, but then there's like
Oh, we know the first though.
contradict. But we don't because of like
It's
No, we
Charlie.
don't.
Chica.
We do.
Like,
Why don't we?
there's a lot of people who are like, oh, it was Charlotte Emily, who was
Yeah, who
the
died
daughter
first?
of Henry Emily, who is, for everyone who doesn't know, Henry Emily is a character mostly in the books. The only evidence that we have of Henry existing in the games
Is
is in
Panafro.
Pizzeria Simulator
Wait, is it not?
HRY223,
Is it not in
because there's a
Panafro?
file.
Is it not in
No, but we
FNAF?
don't know that like it's Henry. Like we don't know the name. But like in Pizzeria Simulator,
Oh.
there's the insanity ending, and the name of the file is HRY223, which people think is Henry 2023, which would make sense. But technically, we don't know. So like Henry as a character, he might not be called that in the games. We don't know, right? But like Henry-esque character,
Oh
anyways.
yeah, and
So like this
Henry.
creator of
Yeah, wasn't there
Henry.
some theory on that? Because Emily is a bit of a weird last name.
Henry is what's
yeah,
it called? The friend of William who made the animatronics.
yeah.
William
Well, at least friends in the
Afton.
beginning.
Yeah, friends in the beginning, enemies at the end.
Yeah.
Wait,
So yeah,
and
there's like these theories that like his daughter Charlotte Emily was the first to die because blah blah blah. But then it's
But
like,
then,
yeah, but was
but then
she?
Chica
Because
said,
Elizabeth kind of has to die first, and then Chica was like, I was the
"I was
first. I
first."
saw
Yeah,
everything.
so it doesn't really make sense.
So it, who knows?
Yeah, it's either
The
or.
lore is complicated. There's all sorts of stuff,
Wait,
and
I was like,
Scott Coffin purposefully plays into that. So like he tries to confuse us and like create red herrings.
let's see if I was searching. Oh my god, there's so much. I'm searching up FNAF timelines, and everything has like
Oh my god, they all
thousands of.
disagree. Everything is like disagreeing.
Yeah,
Also, it's kind of the problem where the story direction kind of changed over time. Keep it going. Like,
Yeah.
stuff from FNAF 1, for example, is usually regarded because it was meant to be the last game. So there wasn't really a series plan. So if there's information from later games that directly um, overlaps with information from the first game, you can kind of ignore the first game there.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like
And also, isn't
Scott simply
FNAF
didn't
World
have
like
everything planned.
non-canon, but people still use it for canon stuff
There's literally
FNAF
to
World
an
is like
extent? There's old
Scott
man
doesn't seem
consequences,
to
I
like
think.
want to associate. It's like poisonous. It's like a toxin. He doesn't want to like be with it. But there's still like stuff there.
Yeah.
But like I don't know the books, like even in the books where they have Old Man
Have we
Consequences as a
talked about the
character in the
books
character
yet?
encyclopedia.
Oh no, I
No.
haven't. We
Well,
haven't
The
even
character
started.
encyclopedia has Old Man Consequences as a character, but
Before
in his
diving into
appearances
the
they only
details, we
have
should
Ultimate
establish
Custom Night. No,
all
but
the
like
other
this is
media.
like an important point specific
Yeah,
to Old
'cause-
Man Consequences
yeah,
is
he's
that
in Ultimate
they don't
Custom Night.
acknowledge FNAF World at all. In nothing ever acknowledges FNAF World. The character encyclopedia, even though Old Man Consequences is a FNAF World character, they only have him listed as appearing in Ultimate Custom Night, where you can like
Oh.
glitch through to his world. Because I don't know, it's like the stepchild that no one wants to acknowledge, and it's like disowned,
FNAF
even
was
though it's a
pretty
pretty
cool,
good game. Yeah, I don't know, it's weird.
Well, this is a kind of timeline.
Oh my
You have to
goodness.
like click it to even see what thing and what it is in chronological order. And
Oh, is
See, I
FNAF
already
3
disagree
in
with it because they put
2023?
Charlotte first, so I already
yeah,
disagree with this.
which is just the best
Because
looking
I'm pretty sure that
timeline.
Elizabeth dies first, because then that it makes more sense that way. So I already like, I have issues.
There's issues. Yeah, it's hard to know what happens in like the first part. It's either or. Like William kills someone. How about that?
Maybe Scott's secretly part of some weird shadow agency organization, and this is their weird recruitment method, where if you solve the FNAF lore, you can like join. That's why we've
Yeah,
never
the
had
people who
anyone
like
solve the
post,
lore, because all the
yeah,
people
people
who
who
have,
post the like
they've
OG,
been like
the correct timelines.
yeah, if they post it, all data's removed, and then like they're recruited to this shadow agency.
It's like joining the
So
Illuminati.
it's like
Yeah, and all
the
information about them is
SCP, they like
erased.
find you. Yeah,
They take you
the
alive.
Faz CP.
But what happened?
Faz Cure, Contain, Protect.
What happens in this timeline? So family beginnings, which is like
Wait, so whose timeline
So
are
this
we
is
gonna
Fredbear's
follow?
Family Diner. So this
yeah.
is like all the like
This
OG
one's
stuff,
alright,
like
like
way before.
I mean,
Also
Nicholas
nowadays, because
completely
this is old,
disagrees with it
because there's
already.
Fall Fest, which is a new thing. Well, not a completely new thing. There was already a Fall Fest '83 in the Curse of Dreadbear DLC for Five Nights at Freddy's VR
Oh
Help
no, it
Wanted
appeared in Help Wanted 1,
1.
didn't
Wow.
But now there's another Fall Fest in VR Help Wanted 2, which is like 1970 Fall Fest. So like it seemed like the story is going further back. So like this is like old as well. It's not only is it I don't think correct, but it's also it's
Yeah, it's
outdated.
outdated.
Because the
this
lore
yeah,
moves
this
so quickly.
timeline's a little outdated. Doesn't have the new game's
Yeah,
security breach,
doesn't
and
have the
they
new
are.
ship. But I don't think there's I don't think there's newer ones. Everyone just doesn't do it anymore.
Oh, I do not consider anything beyond UNC canon. Only the games Scott Cawthon himself worked on.
Okay. So this is
What
like
what if we
lore
go
limited.
to
What's
map?
HW?
HW,
Such as
Help
Hillbilly
wanted.
William.
Help Wanted,
Help!
Help
Oh
Wanted.
yeah,
Yeah.
Help Wanted. But security breach is a main timeline thing, isn't it?
But that's like
Well,
past.
Help Wanted is
Past
also
Fall
like
Fest.
absolutely like canon.
Yeah,
It
those two
It's
are
just like this person.
all. Everything's. I think he just doesn't like them, so he just didn't include them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly.
Honestly,
I
I
get
don't
it.
like him either.
I
I
get
like
it
the
why he
first
doesn't
one more.
like it, but the lore.
I don't like the lore that
Yeah, like
much.
you can't like ignore them because they're still obviously part of the story. Like you can't be like I'm doing the story.
Okay,
Like this is
what
just
if
like
we
fan canon then.
then what if we go into the MatPat timeline,
Ooh,
which is a bit more updated?
everything's
I
a
disagree with
robot.
that one too, though.
But does
I
Matt
know. You
have
tell
like
me.
an image
I have
timeline?
big issues with the MatPat timeline because of the whole Mrs. Afton thing. That's my big
Oh
problem as well.
yeah. Where does
Okay,
Mrs.
explain
After?
to
Oh,
I
it
don't
comes
like
from
it.
the one table with
What
the
was
thing.
the Mrs. Afton thing again?
It was she's the
Um,
one behind the
Oh,
pizza
yeah.
plex, and he's trying to bring back her family.
Oh,
yeah, because
And she
in
starts off
the
with
post-it
FNAF
note
AR
room,
to collect Remnant, and no one notices like dozens of kids going missing
Yeah.
every
Have you
time they
explained
call
who
in
In
a
the
big
post-it room
robot.
in Security Breach, where like the robot is supposedly like gaining consciousness and like becoming aware or whatever, with the like
Also,
binary
off
code.
topic, but how advanced are these robots considering they can just walk around?
Very advanced.
kidnap-
I mean, they're
Right?
super advanced, apparently. Yeah.
Because at least in
Yeah, they're
FNAF
very
1, you could say the spirits are propelling them.
And the fact that they can run.
Well, no, but like
is
we know
like-
that they move around anyways. Like we know that
Really?
they have like a
Yeah, they
a
do because in the
Oh
non-singular.
yeah, it
in the
says they have
daytime,
roaming.
yeah, when they in the daytime where they're like giving out pizzas to the kids, they're like moving around and playing like guitars and shit.
Yeah, so like they're
No,
able
but,
to move anyways. The ghosts are just using that ability.
Can they walk around though?
Yes.
Normally? Really?
Yeah, yeah.
They're like waiters.
Like the explanation of
No.
the engineers
They
for
stay
the whole
there
thing is
playing
that
music.
like they have a night
Really?
roam mode, right?
Yeah,
So like
in
if
the
they
FNAF
can
1
night roam
trailer, at
mode, then
least.
how do they do it?
Yeah, see?
Wait, what?
They only walk around at night.
I
That's
thought
what
they
I'm
moved
saying.
around.
Yeah, but like
No,
the
the
engineers
whole
like
point is
no, the
that there's
engineers
some
specifically
showbiz
say that
band.
they have a night roam mode, which is
Yeah.
like they're like okay, but like that means that they should be able to do that like even if they're
They
not
are, but they
possessed,
don't
they
I-
still have the
yeah.
ability to walk
Their
freely.
explanation was that their joints get stiff or something during the night. And
Uh-huh.
they need them
So
to
let them move around, which means that if they don't get
Hey,
stiff during the day,
that's
they have to be moving during the day as well.
No, but
That's
they're
So they
really
moving
good
can't
on
just
and
be
explanation.
stuff.
standing there.
They're inspired by like Showbiz Pizza and like Chuck E. Cheese, where the animatronics, I think they're actually bolted to the floor and they can only move their upper parts to like play instruments and stuff.
That's stupid.
Yeah,
It
these
is-
things are terrifying. If there's anyone here watching who like lived during the time of Chuck E. Cheese, you people are crazy.
It's
This is-
actually kind of yeah. Like the Showbiz Pizza style of animatronics, they are pretty scary. Junior, it's kind of like that one FNAF game, Juniors.
Juniors, huh?
Yeah.
This
Juniors?
one.
Oh, that one.
His creators were a bit controversial, but it's got really good designs.
I don't care
Oh,
anymore
that
about
one was
controversial creators.
Is that a real FNAF game?
Yeah, it
It's
is
a fan game.
a fan game.
Uh-huh. And it's not canon or anything.
No fan games are
No, this is
canon,
part of the
but
like Scott fan game.
they're really well made.
Mhm.
Like a lot of
Yeah,
them.
there's
It
quite
looks
a few
like
really good ones. What's that one? Joy of Creation. That one's even 3D.
Oh, Joy of Creation is terrifying.
It was nice.
Joy of Creation is like for people who are actually crazy.
I know, but it was a really nice game to follow.
I didn't see many of the fan games. I should go back and just go through all
It
the
felt
map.
so
We
maps.
should make a
It felt so
secondary
polished.
episode on fan games.
We should like read the books and
Mhm.
discuss about it.
There's
So
entire
polished.
people who
Like,
whose
Joy-
channels are
Joy
based
of-
on fan games.
yeah.
What, Giannis?
Joy of Creation, when I first like saw it, it just felt so polished. I thought it was like an official game for like a
No.
bit. And
Yeah, no,
it
the
was really
graphics
cool.
are really good.
Wait, let me see
really
this
liked
Joy.
it.
I want to see this as well.
This
Joy
wasn't
of-
Joy of Creation,
FNAF.
That would be really weird.
Creation.
I'm like looking at the timeline right now and trying to come up with like a sensible one that like I could sort of get
but by the way,
behind.
have we
Like but like
explained
using kind of
the
the
Afton
points that
family?
we have.
Huh? Sorry. What
Have
did
we
you say?
explained the Afton family?
Dad, some mom that maybe dies, and 3 kids. A daughter called Elizabeth,
Okay,
and
but
2
the
sons.
dad
One
is
of them is called
important.
Crying Child. Well, Dad is important, but we'll get to Dad soon. And then there's Michael Afton.
That is scary.
Mikael.
I think the lore in Joy of Creation is you're playing as Scott Cawthon, at least in the first game, and the animatronics are real and they're after you because
You've
the
created.
consequences of
joy of
creating a big
creation.
franchise.
And you end up burning the place down,
Yeah.
I think. Or
You're-
something.
What
Just
place?
like
No,
Henry.
doesn't like the house burn down at the end.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, it does.
And isn't the second one about the kid against the animatronics?
Spoilers!
In like a base.
Whoop.
In a bed or something. And there's like
So get-
animatronics
you-
looking through the windows. of
Who's
the
gonna
room.
listen to a podcast about the entire FNAF franchise and then go, was Just put a big spoiler warning in the front of the video. To all the people who've just been dying to get their hands on the FNAF franchise and have somehow managed to stay away from every single FNAF
Yeah, it can be
in
like,
the past 10
this
years.
video contains spoilers. You have
No,
been
yeah.
warned.
Cut that out and put it at the start.
Yeah.
Well, I
kinda
have the
messed it
second
up.
one here.
Just in case. It's
Just in case.
you know the signs like don't enter, and then there's another one's like go back,
Go back, no more.
turn back.
This is your last chance.
But
Danger ahead.
have you explained like what kind of happens in the lore?
So
This is really interesting. Okay, so the timeline we
she
have
created
here says
animatronics?
Send that bitch in.
Charlotte gets killed by William first, and that's dumb and doesn't make any sense. That's true, Engen, I agree. Most likely,
Freddy created the
Elizabeth dies
animatronics. No?
first.
It is Five
It
Nights
would,
at Freddy's after all.
Jonas,
that is true.
open a Canva. Start a timeline of our own.
There's
On the
a
spot.
in Help Wanted 2, there are sister location animatronics on a carousel that seems to be from Fall Fest 1970, which
What is
means that
Fall
at least
Fest
some of the sister
1970?
location animatronics existed way back when,
Wait.
which is like, okay, sure.
The fuck is Falls Fest?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Fall
saying.
Fest
Nicholas
is like a
mentioned-
Halloween like thing, like a Halloween like festival in the I guess local area.
Is it it's the weird wacky ones from Security Breach Ruin?
Huh?
Is it?
It's it's the ones from like VR where there's the like Foxy maze where like you run around and Foxy's like chases you, and when like you hide you go like and like the guy breathes into your ear constantly, and like you need to like
that's not
get the
Foxy. It's the
keys.
Mimic, isn't it? Or is it different?
No, like in Help Wanted.
In Help
like
Wanted.
in the like fake hedge maze that isn't a hedge maze,
Is
and
it
it's just
the
got like
Foxy
wood.
on Fire? Did you say?
Yeah, that one. That's Fall
okay.
Fest.
Actually,
All that
guys,
stuff is
I
Fall
have
Fest
something to
stuff.
say. I have
What?
never
Mhm.
seen any of the VR games.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Huge L.
They're really cool.
I've been like saving it,
Huh.
Yeah,
but
and
then I
can you
never
see
got around
back
to it.
there Fall Fest? Like behind where Foxy is, it says
Oh,
Fall
wait,
Fest.
don't
You can
watch
say like
it.
all
Go to
Huh?
Nicholas's house
Fair.
and play it on VR.
Play on
Fun.
VR.
Yeah.
Nicholas, do you have like, Fall Fest? Or not Fall VR, or
Yeah.
FNAF or
Well, I have
whatever?
Help Wanted too,
Yeah,
so
that's
like
the
yeah,
only reason
you
he
can play
would
that.
get VR.
Yeah, FNAF 1. Well,
Yeah. Fall
Huh?
Fest, and this I think this one is Fall Fest 83, but there's a Fall Fest 70, and
Fast
there
is
seem to be like
first.
What?
there seem to be like sister location things. In my opinion, Elizabeth dies first because it makes more sense that way. There's a lot of reasons, but
Explain.
basically, oh god,
Oh no.
just a second. The physical reactions to this lore stuff. So you start off with the idea
What are fastest
of
furs, Victor?
I don't know. I just saw
fastest
that
first. What?
on Google.
This
Yeah,
isn't
was-
anything to do with FNAF. That's Sonic,
Yeah.
Pyro, is that
Oh, God.
Bowser?
Hey, this is what I
And-
got when I searched Fall Fest FNAF.
No, it's
You just don't
fastest
know how to
furs,
type,
Fall
Victor.
No, look
And
in
then-
the like top right below,
on the
like
top left.
hey, it says Fall Fest.
Top right?
Top
Top
left.
left.
Yeah, that's what I
Oh,
thought.
yeah.
It also says
Yeah, Victor,
sample
maybe
in
you
big
just need
red
to learn how to
letters.
type.
Continuing on, Nicholas.
Mhm.
So, oh my god, hold on, let me just. Da-da-da-da-da. So, we have the problem of
Okay,
who was
Mr.
the first
Yammer.
victim. There's a lot of people who argue a lot of different things. It's kind of been very fashionable, I think, for a while now to say that it's Charlotte Emily, daughter of Henry
Mhm.
Emily, gets killed by the puppet, and then that's how she puts all the other dead children into the animatronics, right? Because she's the first. She's the one who like leads them
But how can
and
the
tries to help
puppet
them.
kill?
The puppet doesn't kill.
But well, I guess if you fail to spin its music thing, then it does
But-
kill you.
Yeah.
So you have that as like a big kind of show for like, okay, well, it's Charlotte Emily. And Henry does
Or
say a
Elizabeth
wound
dies.
first inflicted on me in his speech. But the thing is, the deaths of both Crying Child and Elizabeth are supposed to be accidents. So he might
Does
just not
Elizabeth die
know.
first?
I think so. And there's a lot of reasons. First of all, why does William randomly kill Charlotte? So I feel like that means that it either has to be after Crying Child dies or after Elizabeth dies. However, we have a mini game where we have like what happens the night after or like that night, later that night when he's killed Charlotte and he goes back home to shout at one of his sons, while what I would argue the other son is sitting on the couch. So Crying Child is still alive. We don't see Elizabeth, so it would make sense to me if Elizabeth had died and maybe Henry had somehow helped in making
Nicholas.
those Funtime animatronics, and then that's why William was like going around drinking and angry, and then he was like, "I'm gonna kill your daughter as payback." That makes a lot more sense to me than he just randomly kills her while things are going okay.
In that same cutscene, wasn't there like a little grave? Like a little
Yeah,
mound of
people
dirt.
argue about what exactly that little grave could be. Some people say that it's the twisted ones, because in the books the twisted ones climb out of the like dirt and then they like bury themselves back in. So like that could be the
Oh,
mound of dirt. Some people say that it's the mom's grave, which also I guess kind of works. Um,
Then the
the
mom died
reason I'm
first,
not
right?
convinced,
The mom didn't die though.
well, she's not a relevant character. She's not a relevant, like she doesn't matter, so I don't care. Um,
Oh jeez.
as far as I'm concerned, uh, um, the grave is maybe the mom, could be, because we get Vanessa's therapy tape where it's implied that mom commits suicide, and she has a
What?
dad named Bill, and Bill
Which
is a
is
nickname for
name for
William.
William, yeah.
Yeah, William Afton, and Vanessa is obviously Elizabeth.
if
Like
Vanessa's mom
parallel.
commits suicide, then that could only mean.
One thing. What
What?
does it mean,
What
Angin?
does it
And
mean?
that is
Endo from FNAF World is the real person behind the Pizzaplex.
you're insane.
But in
Because
reality,
the
there's
mom's dead. Oh, it's Mendo, sorry.
Mango.
No,
No.
Mendo.
Oh, Mendo. Endo? You mean?
No,
Mendo.
Mendo.
The fuck is Mendo?
Mendo?
MEND. You're clearly not a FNAF World
Mend.
fan.
I'm so sorry.
Mending?
Men though.
Mendo?
Mendo.
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 Huh?
Victor
Can't just keep
Mendo.
saying it. I won't get it.
It's a character.
Google it.
The fuck is this dude?
I thought you liked FNAF World.
It's
Just
the
because I
purple
like it.
exoskeleton with big arms.
Oh, it's this dude. Oh,
Ah.
okay, from Mendo's, like the upgrade thing.
Yeah.
Ah, I know what you mean now.
It's upgrade. He has an upgrade shop.
Oh, yeah, he does.
FNAF Security Breach is meant to be like an upgrade to the previous FNAF. This can only mean one thing.
Mendo's in control.
That you're stupid.
Helpy.
But yeah, we can spend infinite time arguing about who exactly dies first. But I would argue
Yeah.
that it makes the most sense for it to be Elizabeth, because the crying child dies after Elizabeth, definitely.
But what
And
about
I
Chica?
think Charlotte dying first. What's the point? Like, this is the problem I always
Pick
have.
up
Why
his
would he kill
nuts.
Charlotte? What's the like reason to kill her? Just randomly?
Charlotte
Psychopath.
is the
someday.
puppet, right? Charlotte's a puppet.
This is
Yeah.
where I feel kind of
Charlotte
weird
is
because
Henry's daughter puppet.
Yeah,
Who is Charlotte?
Henry's daughter.
at
And who
least
is
in
Henry?
like
Henry
MatPat's
is the
Creator of
timeline,
animatronics.
Okay.
at least in MatPat's timeline, the reasoning is like he was drunk and was feeling angry
Yeah, because his
and
own son
wanted
had died.
But, like-
to fight
Engin.
Henry. Yeah, so he killed Charlotte.
Well, yeah, but like then Charlotte
like
isn't
bang,
first
bang,
anyways.
yeah.
But I would argue that Elizabeth has
And
to
then
die
the
before
explanation
Crying
for the
Child.
rest
If
of
Crying
the
Child dies first, then
murders was just he liked killing people.
No, yeah,
And then
he,
what?
He
He
killed
enjoyed it.
Charlie because he blamed Henry for the
For
crying
his
child
child's
dying.
death, right?
So
So
he
this is like
killed
Yeah, but
revenge.
like,
killed Charlie, and then he was like, "Ooh, I like doing this," and he did it to everybody.
Yeah, that's kind of
That's
true.
no,
weird,
I don't,
Well,
I
no,
bro.
don't think
I don't
that's
think he
no. I think
started
the
like
real
that.
point is that like he's trying to keep his kids alive. He's trying to. That's why he starts with Elizabeth. Elizabeth dies, but he wants to get her back, just the way Henry wants to get Charlotte back in the books, and he's
But doesn't
desperate to do
Elizabeth
that.
get
And
circus
then he
baby?
wants to get Crying Child
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, she gets babied.
Well, yeah, but she's not like fully in control though.
That
Like
means the
she's
circus
there.
like circus babies, Pizza Will animatronics were first
They're
before
really
the.
early. We know that because
Well, yeah,
there's
because
like those
they're in
characters
sister
exist in
location though.
Fall Fest.
Which
Yeah.
doesn't
So
really
like
make sense because
they have to be quite early.
the sister location animatronics look much more like advanced than
Yeah.
the other ones.
That's obviously just a Scott Cawthon issue.
Yeah, I
There's no
feel,
like lore
Yeah.
but
explanation for that one. That's just
yeah, I feel like sister location was made before the actual like main boy.
Sister location takes place after, no, before FNAF 1, but it's after the pizzeria in FNAF
Yeah,
1,
after the
right?
first. Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, it's
Because
good to
when
remember.
you're
Yeah, when the
playing
games
FNAF
take
1,
place.
it's actually after FNAF 2 as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
broken
Remember, when the
animatronics have
games
been
take
repaired.
place is not the same time as the events that we associate with them.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, no-
Elizabeth does not get eaten like 5 days before Sister Location. You know, it's like
This
years
is the
and
part
years
where
go
you can
on.
really tell that the story wasn't actually meant to be this way.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, the problem
everything
is,
is out of control.
if we argue that like Charlotte gets killed because William's angry about Crying Child, which makes sense, I would argue that, well, okay, I would argue that it doesn't make sense because I think Crying Child is still around, but like in a vacuum that makes sense, right? Then
There's no
she's still
vacuum
not the
over here,
first
though.
one. Like she's basically in no timeline does it make sense for her to be the first one. Because why? Just randomly he like felt like it. He was like, "Yeah, let's kill a kid."
I mean,
Like,
he
'cause
does become a serial killer.
Yeah, but like he has reasoning. He has a justification. He wants to understand
But I feel
remnant.
like-
He wants immortality. He wants to, bring back his family. Like he's not just like a random murderer.
But I feel like
He
at the
has,
end,
like a story.
like closer to the end, he just starts becoming like with no reason. He starts becoming insane, and like
Well, yeah,
I
because
feel like
he's
in,
like slowly like losing. He's no longer alive. His soul is getting torn apart. Like it makes sense then.
skill
But this is when
issue.
he's still like a human being.
People
Like
are
he's still a
gonna be
person back
confused
then.
by the he's no longer alive thing.
His soul is
He's a-
haunting
Oh yeah,
slash
we
controlling
didn't
things.
explain how he died.
Oh,
Uh,
burned to death.
Spring
Springtrap.
locks are this horrible
wasn't-
thing
yeah,
that
Springtrap.
like suck, and no one knows why they were made this way, and they're crap.
Oh yeah,
and
he
they're
was
so dumb.
he was put in a spring trap by the animatronics, and then
It's
he survived.
No, he
And then after surviving,
he put it on himself.
Yeah, but
He
then
put it
Didn't
to
he want to
scare
hide
them.
it
but
from
this-
the animatronics?
He
but
wanted
then
to
the
hide
spring
it.
Wanted
locks
to blend in.
activated.
He did what he does in the
He
movie.
wanted
He
to
does
hide
he
from
does
the
what he does in the
spirits,
movie.
No? And
He
wanted
wanted to like
in the
show them who's
animatronic,
boss.
'cause that was what he
wanted
used to
That was
kill.
the-
away the spirits.
Wasn't
Yeah.
that FNAF
Yeah, he
3?
wanted to show them who's boss because that's the suit he wore to kill them,
Yeah,
right? So
that
Yeah,
was
there's no
to like
payback.
lure them away and
Oh.
kill them. So
That
he
was-
thought it would scare them.
That was in FNAF 3,
But
right?
then the water
Yeah.
falls.
Yeah.
Yeah, one
Yeah, this is
droplet
the,
of
like,
water.
cutscenes.
Where was
So
that
I don't
And
get
then-
it.
game?
So basically,
It was the water that caused the spring locks to go
Yeah.
off,
Then
right?
the water
Yes.
caused it.
It was his sweat and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Springlock suits
No.
are these suits that like they can be animatronics where they go kind of all the metal stuff goes inwards and like the animatronic can move around on its own, or they can be actual like mascot suits where the spring locks
Yeah.
and the other things pull back so you can fit in there. But the thing is, they vary like they take only a little bit of movement or a little bit of breath and like moisture to go back to their like reset position, and for some reason the reset position isn't the suit position but it's the animatronic position. So when
Oof.
someone's in there,
The
and they
problem
make
is like
it
the spring
reset,
locks are leaning the wrong
it's just
way
like
around.
yeah, they should be the other way around, because then that way if something goes wrong it would just stand there and like get stuck, but you wouldn't die if you're in there.
Such a
Mhm.
stupid design. Anyways,
Yeah,
then
it's like
Af-
literally the worst thing
Afton
ever.
somehow survives that, and
His
then
soul sticks
Yeah.
around.
and then
for
in
20
FNAF
years.
4, Yeah,
No,
and then
it's
FNAF
when
4, he
wakes
gets...
up
He
in
gets
FNAF
walled
3.
up, right? He gets
Yeah, he
bricked
gets
up
walled
by
up. Hey,
Henry.
yo!
Wait.
He gets bricked up!
By Henry, actually. No, because they tell him that they're
Yeah.
looking
Yeah,
for
Henry
Uh,
him.
comes along and like traps
Does
him
his
in the
speech.
walls.
And then he gets released
And
in FNAF 3.
then FNAF 3 happens where they're breaking through the walls and stuff because they're making like the Freddy
The horror
location like a
attraction.
haunted house attraction.
Freddy Fazbear.
And then they're like, we found this authentic costume. Which how do they not notice that there's like a human person
Wait,
in there?
spirit
How did
walks
they
are a
not
real
smell it?
thing?
But they bricked him up into that place. So they found him before that, right?
Yeah, they like broke some of the walls, I think, and they were like, huh, maybe they got like the blueprints and they were like, this wall isn't supposed to be here, and they broke it and they were like, yo.
And then can we
And
talk
William Afton was
about
like, hee 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 ha.
what's the
And
child?
then the phone guy's like,
Michael
hey,
Afton.
we
Have
found
we
the
talked
real
about
one.
Michael Afton?
Or something.
Michael Afton is an idiot who can't do anything correctly,
It's
and he
William's
constantly
son.
fails. That's like his whole story arc is that he fails and then he fails some
Yeah,
more.
William's oldest son, because William's youngest son got fucking raped. By...
Okay, you might want to
by-
explain that.
Oh yeah, not rape, but like
He got his head munched off.
Victor.
Is that the bite of 87? Is that the bite
You
of
just-
83?
No, it's the bite of 83.
I know, I was making a fucking...
That's the thing. The bite of
microphone.
87 sounds so cool, but it's not relevant to the
Mhm.
story, like, at all.
Are we actually
the
going
bite
to
of
edit in the
83
trash
is the
can
one that matters.
Freddy Fazbear?
Huh?
Are we actually going to edit in the like
Of course.
Freddy Fazbear?
Yeah, that's the
Like,
only thing
Freddy
I desire
Fazbear.
from you.
What do you desire from me?
Horror,
Editing-
horror. Is that Freddy
editing that.
Fazbear? Anyway, continuing on. The child dies. Michael and after.
No, he goes to a coma first, right?
No, he just straight up dies.
And then he dies. No, he doesn't, because he's in a coma for like 5 nights, and then on the 5th night he
5
has a
nights at
flatline, and then he
Freddy's?
dies. I assume it's related.
Really?
But yeah, there's like a flatline, so like he's alive for like most of FNAF 4.
Yeah. You can.
Crying child survive.
Yeah,
Bite
'cause you
of
can
83.
hear the.
It was his birthday.
There's like medical equipment that
Right
appears
there.
on the desks and stuff.
And the electronic clock.
Like there's
It
like
says,
pills and like
it
an
says
IV.
he was unable to survive the bite.
Well, yeah,
No,
because
but,
he
like,
eventually
long-term, I
died from
think.
the injuries, but like he had a coma,
Mhm.
and then he was in that
Mhm.
coma for ages before he actually like died. But like yeah, he didn't survive because it still killed him, but like he didn't instantly die. Like just because you lose your frontal lobe, like there's literally a
Well,
He didn't
Cora
lose
said
his
thing
says he
in-
dies.
in
was
Pizzeria
87.
Simulator. There's a thing in Pizzeria Simulator. Not pizza. Is it? Yeah, Pizzeria Simulator. Where they have a funny thing about like, oh, the human body can survive without the frontal lobe. So like, there's all sorts of like things that like, yeah, you survive the bite
Oh,
itself,
that's where
but then you
FNAF 4
die
came
from
around,
like,
right? Like the nightmare.
but then you die from the actual like consequences of the
nightmare?
bite. So you don't instantly die from the bite.
like the nightmare,
Mhm.
like
Nightmare, isn't
animatronics. It
no,
was from
some people say
when
it's,
it was.
it's Michael though.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Michael is probably the one experiencing the nightmares, because at least some of them. Because
At
the
least-
thing is,
Yeah, because like
there's a point
William is playing
where
is
in
playing
the
tricks. Not tricks.
in the books, not in like the novels or the short stories, but in the survival logbook, there is a conversation being had by 3 people. There is red ink, which is Michael Afton. There is faded text, which is he or she or they who you should not have killed, which is Cassidy. And then there is crying child, which is like transformed text, because the logbook has like, for example, rate your day, and it's like amount of dread. So like he moves those around, he moves the letters around to like write sentences into the book and says things like I can't see, I can't hear, or whatever. But the thing is, the red text draws Nightmare Fredbear. So Michael had to have had those nightmares, because how else would he know the Nightmare Fredbear exists, right? If only Crying Child had those, and Crying Child doesn't draw in red ink, it means that Michael had to have at least seen them. So he had to have had those nightmare experiments done on
Wasn't
him
there
as
a
well.
theory that the like nightmares were made by William to traumatize his kids or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either keep the kids
Wait.
away or like to test on the kids.
Oh, yeah.
Or
There's a
the
whole
like sound disc hallucination thing.
So Zayed.
yeah. There's a whole
Basically,
story
The
about that.
the nightmares in FNAF 4?
So basically,
Yeah,
yeah.
those ones.
The one
Uh-huh.
theory is that after the death of the crying child, Michael Afton, the son of William Afton,
Mhm.
he's like put through by William Afton, like animatronics or like illusions of animatronics by William Afton, and then he's like making sure he becomes afraid of that, so he doesn't go near them anymore.
Yeah, there's a whole thing about that. There's like a story, I don't know, B7 or something, one of the short stories where there's like a kid stuck in a house, and every night he has these horrible nightmares. And then one day they don't happen, and he walks around and he like finds a phone and like calls his friend to try and get help. And he realizes that he's no longer like 10 years old. He's like a teenager. He's been there for like years. And I think the illusion discs turn off or something. And he goes around, and then eventually he finds a like person or a recording of a person where like, well, I think he thinks it's real, right? But like I think in the end there's like a little click of like a recorder that's resetting where it's like,
Mhm.
I'm keeping you safe here. I'm helping you. Don't leave. Go back. And then he like decides to go back and return to his bed. And then the like recorder clicks and like resets the whole system. And then he goes back to
That's
like having those like horrible nightmares and stuff.
so that's Michael.
So yeah, so that kind of hints at the idea that like there was someone going through that in like the real world physically, not just having the nightmares in their own coma, which would have to be Michael, right?
Hmm.
Because like, who else would that be? And maybe William did it because he wanted to keep Michael away from the animatronics. Maybe William did it because he is angry with Michael because Michael did put crying child in the Freddy's mouth. So it's just kind of like torture, because why not?
Oh, what?
Maybe he's doing it to just keep Michael around, right? Like maybe because then that way, if Michael stays around and is just going through this like kind of tortured hell forever, William can whenever he wants come back and be like, Michael, I have freed you. I have saved you from this horrible stuff. And then he'll be like,
Yeah.
"Thank you, father." And
Thank
then
you,
you can
Dad.
use him to do your bidding for a while until he realizes what happened to him.
Yeah. But the main theory, well, I think it's almost confirmed that Michael Afton just almost all the games until like 4 is Michael Afton, like the security guard anyways. The person you're playing as is
Yeah, he
Michael
uses
Afton
fake names.
trying to destroy the restaurants, the Five Nights at Freddy's, until he
Oh.
removes every single one of them and
Well,
kill off
that's the thing though.
Ringman.
Is he getting rid of the? Because that's the thing in sister location. That's when we get the thing where he's like, "I'm coming to find you," and the ending where it's like it seems like now he's
What's that?
realized what his father did.
What's
Oh
that?
wait, is this a half movie reference?
Bell.
No,
What's the name? Bella? No,
no.
one of the like animatronics.
But before that, it's
Oh.
actually more likely that Michael was helping William, because then that would explain why he was tampering with the animatronics, because he was trying to get Remnant for William, but because Michael is incompetent and dumb and can't get anything done correctly, he fails. And he gets fired for odor and general unprofessionalism, not because he's a corpse yet, which is a whole thing, like an explanation for the odor, right? But instead, because he's messing around with the bodies of dead children that have been rotting for the last 10 years.
Yay!
So, odor, and also then that way you get the general unprofessionalism and tampering with the animatronics. And then its sister location, which makes him realize, oh crap, my dad is evil. And that's why he's like, I'm coming to get you. And then it sounds all a bit robotic. Even though it's not supposed to sound robotic, Scott Cawthon just slowed it down to sound dramatic, but it does sound like a robot.
Then, yeah, then he gets scooped up real bad.
Yeah, he gets scoopered.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Sister Location is probably the best game.
I think, like, from a
I just-
story moving forward point of view, it's so well made.
I just
Like
really like the story and the gameplay of it.
It's more
Yes.
story based, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, but like
Yeah,
even
it's one of the more like railroady story games.
Yeah.
The only problem that I have heard people have with it is that like they wish that the concepts would come back. Because the one thing is like it's kind of like one-time vignettes of like a game mode, but then you never really get to play them again. But I feel
Yeah.
like Help Wanted kind of does that. Like they make those things into entire game mode, which I really like.
Mhm.
I think one of the complaints I've heard about Sister Location is that it feels very scripted. Like, so
Yeah, it
it
is like a
lacks
very kind of like
replayability
railroad.
compared to the other FNAF games.
Mhm.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it still
In some
gets
in
you.
some way, yeah, like Sister Location is actually a game about the story, whereas most FNAF games are
The
like a
story's kind of
game
extra.
with a story. Like it's there,
Yeah.
but like yeah, you don't need it to like play the game. But like the whole thing is like the
Would you
story
say
in Sister
Security Breach
Location.
and stuff are story based? I mean, kind of.
I really don't like Security
Yeah,
Breach. Ruin is good,
they
but
have like
Security Breach still
quest
shit.
mechanics, so like
Yeah, I
I
just don't
get
like
I just
Ruin either. As
I
just
wish
from
that
a
we had
horror game
had like
perspective, it's not
Superstar.
scary.
You're my
I wish we
superstar.
had had like
Gary.
another year of development for Security Breach because they obviously needed it, and like
But you suck my
I
fat
don't.
dick, Freddy.
Yeah, there's so many things that went wrong with that game, and it's like
Victor
Sony wanted it to
forces them to be
release with the
PG.
PS5, so it's like yeah, like really cool, and and they like cut out like half the content in the game. There's so
Superstar.
many like
Can't
little
say
like
that,
bits of
superstar.
like cut out quests,
Shut the
like
fast Freddy up, Freddy.
I feel like the
what are
main
they? The Faz
problem
arcade
was
games and all these
they
things.
wanted to make the pizza packs feel like very big and somewhere you could roam around, but also like you have to hide from the animatronics. But then they also wanted the story as well, so you can't really mix those two together to have like a
Mhm.
satisfying game. Because what you end up doing is just running around the pizzaplex. And also it's just that the animatronics are poorly designed. They just kind
Everything
of
was poorly
teleport to you.
designed in the
Yeah,
like
no, there's just
release.
security
Uh,
bots everywhere, and if you walk into one of
Everything's
them, they
teleporting.
go "Brr," and then they're like one of the animatronics teleport to you.
Oh yeah,
Superstar.
that's a big issue. Also, another big issue I think is that like there's just like where did all the features go? Like there's supposed to
My
be a
fat.
Vanny meter, and Vanny was supposed to be like a relevant character, but she really isn't. She
Are we
barely
having
appears
fun
in the
yet?
game.
Are we
That
having fun yet?
You have you have like these
so many
obvious
glitches.
hints to like old, like scrapped content. Like the arcade machines are like all broken. And there's like a line of emails about it, and it's like obviously you were supposed to like play them through and like make some cool
No.
stuff happen. But there's only like Princess Quest left because they had to like
Yeah,
make it really bare bones. And then there's I think
I
we
think why
missed out on
Ruin
like
is
a proper
better.
good ending.
No, Ruin is
Like I
just
think there
better.
would I think
No,
the
no, no,
plan
but like
was that they were gonna have it so that you repair each animatronic back and then they are all fixed and that would have been the good ending because there's like hints of that in some of the logs, but then that never
oh,
happened because that's I don't know complicated.
Did you know
So
that
like
you
there's
can
so
find
much that's like
Bonnie
cancelled in this game.
in
if
FNAF,
Yeah,
really,
because there was a lot of
beat up
FNAF?
pressure from the fan base.
if you beat up
Yeah,
all
the
the
fans,
security robot,
Sony,
no,
everyone
not
was like,
the
"Come on,
wet
hurry up,
floor
get the
sign
game
I
out."
robots.
So
think
like,
if they had
The
more
little
time, it would have been a
dude.
much better game.
Yeah,
yeah, they needed like an
Yeah.
extra year at least.
Yeah, I feel like there was just really bad release.
Oh.
Yeah, like
um,
don't push it
yeah,
out
I
so
think
early.
Ruin
Come
is
on,
just
let them
better,
have the
not only
year.
because it's more finished, but because it sticks closer to one approach. It's far more linear than
Yeah, there's no.
Security Breach.
It's not as open world as Security Breach.
Yeah, so there's less exploring per se, but you still get to see cool things.
But
But everything's
Yeah,
like kind of scripted.
like open
but
world
that's
is just
fine
kind of
though.
it doesn't
It's
really
Yeah,
work.
at
it's
least
better.
works.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. It's better because it sticks to one thing closer instead of trying to mesh two things together.
Yeah,
Security
Mhm.
open
Breach for
world
like
doesn't really
open
work
world and less
with like
story based,
horror.
maybe it would have been better. But I don't know, because like the
Yeah, the problem
cast
is
is
that like
so
horror
few.
requires you to be stuck. You need to have people who are like hunting you.
Yeah,
There's a
yeah, like
reason
yeah,
why
Ruin
the FNAF
fixes the
gameplay
problem
works so
because
well.
it creates small areas because of all the clutter and like
Yeah.
destroyed
Yeah, there's like
stuff.
stuff blocking
The
your way
problem with
everywhere.
Security Breach, it's so open and there's so few threats and like places to be threatened.
Well, I mean, it's not
'Cause if
really.
there's an
It's not like there's few threats because they just teleport everywhere.
oh yeah, no,
But like
that's the solutions to the problem, but it's not really like
aren't threatening. Like they just go wah, and they're like, oh no, I just gotta run, and like
they usually just
yeah, and
camp
then you
you
like
actually.
shoot them or you like camera them.
Let's call my Freddy
and then, like, you
fast
run away.
dad.
But yeah, it's like
And they call him, and they
it's
go
one of those
inside.
issues where I feel like there's a reason why the Five Nights at Freddy's original gameplay formula is like stereotypical horror game now, is because it's basically the perfect way to do it. You're stuck in a room, you don't have any like other place. You can
and
see,
slowly,
but you
the
can't
battery
act.
drain adds a lot to
You
the tension.
yeah, and the battery drain means that you need to make yourself uncomfortable. You need to put yourself out there in danger. So you need to rely on your ability to like look at the animatronics, even though you know that you can't stop them. And none of that would work if you could move around. And I feel like that's why you need linearity in a horror game, because it has to be a controlled environment where every jump scare is sort of like planned for in a way, you know?
The only like kind of scary part of Security Beach was like the animatronic
Map bot.
where you had to look at, and they would stop moving, or else it was like run at you.
Oh yeah, the like oh what is it? Red light, green light kind of thing. Where
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like,
But
when you
I
don't
feel
look at
like
them, they start coming for you.
I feel like that works in every horror game because it's just a good
Yeah.
feature, good like idea in general.
Yeah.
That
It's one of those like
every horror game.
Like it's not like it's a bad game in its entirety. It's just that like it's too many things.
Look,
that
I
are like
enjoyed it
trying to
because
like
of
build on each other.
I enjoyed it
Mhm.
because of the glitches. I think that was the best part. The
Yeah, it
glitch,
makes it funny.
yeah, it makes it funny. It wasn't.
Though it's not like Ruin didn't have glitches. Like MatPat literally like
Oh yeah, they
skipped
just
1/3 of the
teleported.
game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember watching it. It's just
Yeah.
like he entered a room and went to the next place. Like
Yeah, he put on his like Vanny
Can't
mask
you
and took
beat
it off
FNAF
and boom.
Security Breach in like 5 minutes
if you try hard enough, I'm sure you can.
with all the glitches?
Bro, I remember watching like one of the like Let's Plays. I think from Jacksepticeye. And what's the dude's name? Is the fucking the one that replaced Bonnie? Crocodile.
Montgomery Gator.
Montgomery Grader. It was just like teleporting everywhere. It was like the Music Man like room. And he was just like jumping, like it was like teleporting. It was more terrifying because he could like teleport, so he didn't know where he was gonna come out of.
You.
It's
But, yeah.
interesting how they're like always slightly replacing the cast. The cast is like never together after like FNAF 1 basically. Like cuz like you always get like some variation. Like even with like Sister Location, you know, like there's like a whole new cast and then but even then you don't get all the fun times. Like you don't get Funtime Chica. She's just not there. They don't give Chica to you. And it's like why? Meh. So it seems like I don't know, maybe it's like a thing that Scott wants to do, like on purpose. He always keeps like at least one animatronic away. And it's like, okay, it's interesting. I don't know why. Is it to have new characters, or is it because he doesn't want to like kind of make them all dry and boring? So like he always kind of keeps them rotating. I don't know.
Did he do all this?
I was about to ask. So, who are you playing as in the Security Breach games?
You're playing as Gregory.
Security Breach is
No, in the
Gregory.
first one you're playing as Gregory, in the second one you're playing as Cassie. Cassie. Awesome.
Yeah, Ruin is Cassie, because Gregory's like supposedly stuck down there, which he isn't.
Gregory
That's the mimic, and that's like a whole thing.
Yeah,
No.
I feel like the books. I don't know. I like the books. There's just too many of them.
No one likes the books.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is the problem. The books have like a lot of interesting stuff, but there's just a lot of like fluff.
Yeah.
So there's like all this like weird things for like 5 lines of like lore relevance.
I wish they just made like a one kind of long book, and that was like it. Where they kind of say most of the stuff.
Okay, but Mix, this is just a stupid design.
Oh yeah, I hate that thing. Don't talk to me about it.
It's kind of annoying in the game, but like, come on, you design a thing that's like, okay, it's mostly blue, but like maybe purple if you squint at it, and it's like got this weird menacing shape to it, and it's got rabbit ears, but it's actually the good guy.
It's not even glitch trap. It's like
it's not glitch trap.
Yeah,
this is the thing that Cassie's dad made it, right? Because he like his favorite thing was Bonnie, right? So like he made the the
Mixes.
Bonnie kind of
Oh.
inspired security machine. Yeah. They pull the thing where it's like it's obviously villainous looking, but it's not the villain. It's like, well, why did you make it look like that then? Why does it look like that?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Why does it look like that?
It should be like a flower
It's sort of.
bunny.
Hey Nicholas, I have a question for you. How do you like? By the way, you're really low right now, so I can barely hear you. Anyways, Nicholas, you must love the robot theories, right? From my man, he says that a robot.
Everyone's a robot.
Oh,
Everyone's a robot.
I hate those
Everyone's a
theories,
robot.
and yet the worst part is that they might be real.
Yeah, no, that's
Gregory's
what I
a
hate the
robot.
most is they might be correct. It's like that's what scares me. If they were like dumb and like didn't make any sense, then I wouldn't care. But there's like just enough to where like maybe. But then it's like a lot of the theories, for Gregory at least, the linchpin is that one scene where Vanny walks past, and Freddy doesn't see Vanny, but Gregory
Oh,
sees like kind of the weird interference stuff, you know? Which is like that
yeah.
never made sense to me, because if Freddy's a robot and he sees nothing, then if Gregory's a robot, then shouldn't he also see nothing?
But he has
Um,
child coded into him.
yeah, it's Choco Dog.
What are the baby
Alright.
Like
music mans?
Music bands?
the what?
Mini music men from
Music
Oh,
Little
Mini
Big.
Music
Man!
Men.
No, not Music Man. The like
Music
little ones that
Man!
run around and
The
they're
Mini
like
Music Men.
rats. Yeah.
Music
Ding 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 ding.
Man!
I don't know. Maybe they're like part of his like performing band or something, and they're just because like it feels kind of like you know,
Gregory.
Ballora and the
You
Mini
must
Arenas
fantastic,
and
Gregory.
Baby and the Biddy Babs.
Oh, what?
Like the little baby sidekick characters, because like Baby has the Biddy Babs and the Electro Babs, and
Ah.
Ballora has the Mini Arenas. So like it would
Babatron.
kind of
Yeah.
make
So
sense.
does Music Man have the mini music men?
Music
I
Man.
think
I don't
so.
know.
Like why else would they be there?
They're probably the
Like
best
right, like they have
designs
to.
so
I know.
far
I
from the
really like
Music
Sun and
Man
Moon.
one. So, oh no, but like from the Music Man line, from the normal one to the big
Yeah.
one to the tiny one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I really like, and Sun and Moon seem to be getting more and more importance now.
Sun and Moon,
Which
they're all right.
the
It's
only
alright.
weird thing for me
I mean, it's
is
all right.
like,
Like, I
how
wish
do
their design was
you?
less spindly because it doesn't feel that believable.
Yeah, but like, how do you make like Sun and Moon big characters when they're not supposed to be separate things? That's my only issue.
Because
Is
then
like,
it
how can they
becomes
be like big?
Eclipse.
No, but
Then it
like, how can
becomes
they be
skibidi.
big branding like characters if they're always supposed to be Eclipse anyways? Like, they're not supposed to be separate. So like
Because
Oh.
how are they like treated as like two different entities and there's like merch of them as separate things, but they were never meant to be separate? Like that's just like a
Are
failure
they
in the
even
like
called Sun and Moon? The
programming.
wiki lists them as daycare attendant.
daycare attendant.
Oh, that's their like official job, but I'm pretty sure they call themselves that or something like
Yeah,
that.
there's. I mean,
I
look,
if I remember
their
correctly.
face is sun, and then the other one's moon.
Yeah.
I
So,
mean, I'm
but
pretty sure the
Mhm.
plushies call
kind of
them that, right? Like Sun and Moon plush.
yeah, they are.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Then when they combine, they're Eclipse. That was like the terrifying. That was only the scary part of Security
Really?
Breach, and then it
Oh
became
yeah,
like
Moon is always the scariest part of like any security breach
Oh,
playthrough. Like the running around to like not get killed by Moon, and he like the way he walks around like dit 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 dit, and then like jumps. He's
he's
fucking
almost like
terrifying.
Golem from Lord of the Rings. My
Yeah,
precious.
the like hunchback. The man's children must be punished.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
what I
it's
mean.
Jesus Christ, terrifying thing. Um,
Naughty children
I
must
actually really
be
like
punished.
Eclipse, like as a character, like his like kind of he feels like a real actual like corporate character that might exist in like a kind of animatronic like attraction. Like he actually feel like where like Sun feels like he's not real. Like his personality is like fake. No one would actually like make that a personality. It's too insane. And Moon is evil, but Eclipse has like that like trustworthy kind of like that's like something like parents might actually leave their kid with that thing. Um,
I would not.
well, yeah, of course, but like in this world where this seems to be more normal, It's like more believable.
What's
If
the
we're on the
lore?
topic of ruin characters, what is Helpy? Not
Helpy?
Helpy with a
Oh,
Y,
like
by the
the
way.
ruin one.
Helpy with an I.
Helpy's just a little helper. He only takes over your
Helpy's
body a little
just
bit. He only puts
like
Elon chip
the
chip
Fazbear
brain
mascot.
chips.
I don't know. He's kind of just their like
I'm sure he has
little
like
guy.
some deeper relevance because he I think he's a bit evil. He does some evil stuff.
It seems like
Why do his eyes
they
turn yellow when he's
replaced
evil?
Because that's the
because
color of
it's
evils.
jaundice.
No, it's been purple for
He
the
gets
entire series.
no Engen. He gets jaundice whenever he's being evil.
He gets chlamydia. What's
No, jaundice causes yellow eyes, not chlamydia.
Speaking of a security breach, what's the lore in security breach? What happens?
So there's this security system, and it gets. Wait a minute, isn't that a ruin?
True. That is what happens in Ruin, not really in
It's not
security. I guess
happens in
technically
security.
Gregory is the security breach, right? That's the point. Like he is the security breach because he's there after all players.
I mean that's the whole idea.
Mhm.
Explain
and
the
then
lore,
like stuff
Nicholas.
happens.
What happens in security breach?
So
It's
Pizzaplex gets
super
built
confusing.
on
Yes,
top of the
please.
FNAF 6 location, and Vanessa anyways, gets made the head of security even though there's no one else. Like there's no reason to put her as head of security. Like she has no experience on the job. And then there's this all staff meeting, attendance is mandatory. Uh, and then there's like a room which looks like there was a fight in it. And later we read that there was a call to 911 from inside the Pizzaplex. And the police
Mhm.
came over, and Vanessa was like, "No, don't worry about it. Nothing's happened." So the current theory is that the reason why there's no other human employees is because Vanessa killed all of them with the
What?
with the all employee meeting, like she did. There's like an ending where the Gregory gives like the order, like disassemble Vanny, and then like they kill her. So it's like the idea is like she used
Order
that
60. No,
to
what does
like
it say?
order 6 to execute.
Well, but
Execute
how did
order. Eliminate the
they
employees.
disassemble? How did they disassemble Vanny again? What was the way?
They just tear her apart.
Oh, okay. With like
They just
the
pull
help
off her hands and her legs.
with the help bots, right?
So,
Yeah, the staff bots just rip her
Yeah.
apart. We don't get to see like the
uh-huh.
actual thing, but like
Oh,
we're
Thank God
told
we
from
don't
the
get
mimic
to see
stories that like the
anything.
mimic used to like pull off shoulders and legs from animatronics,
Oof.
but then like when it run out of animatronics, it started doing it to humans. So like I think like a similar principle is being used here, where it's like
Isn't
disassemble is
the
just a
reason
command.
why the mimic tears off arms because like Henry who built it got really angry and
Edwin, not Henry, different guy.
who the fuck is Edwin?
I thought it was only
Edwin
Edwin in the
Murray.
book.
Edwin?
Who?
Well, we don't have any reason to believe that like he couldn't also exist here. For all we
Oh
know,
my
like
god.
There's too many characters to this shit. And you
What
kind of
about the
lose
like it's
track.
possible that Henry made the mimic. It's possible that he didn't. It's possible that Edwin exists in the games. It's possible that Edwin doesn't exist. We don't know.
It goes pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Though there
Who
does
was
seem to be evidence
what does
that
Edwin
the puppet does not get burnt in Pizzeria Simulator. Lefty doesn't ever get burnt, and
wait? Well,
sort of
yeah, okay.
confirmation is
I
in
just realized, why does the mimic have a big lump on its cheek?
because it's made out of like garbage. But like in
Yeah, it's
Ruin,
random
you
parts,
can
is it?
go. Yeah, it
Mhm.
is just like
Oh, I
stuff he's
guess.
found. You can go to the pizzeria simulator area, and you see the little like fire stoves, whatever that like started the fires. And there's only what is it, 3 of them? So there's like basically there's one missing, and we never see Lefty on fire in the Henry speech. So there's this implication that like Henry didn't kill himself, and he didn't kill his daughter, and maybe he tried to put her in the mimic, and that would be kind of like how mimic might be made by Henry, but like who knows?
Yeah, but isn't there a theory that Mimic was the AI programming of Mimic was from Henry? Was it that he just made like a kind of robot that worked, and then like the people that made Security Breach took that AI, and then like it somehow got into like the mainframe, and then like the Mimic took
Well,
it.
that's just like, yeah, like that's like just transplanting the story of Edwin onto Henry, which I guess works. Like, I'm not sure if that's true, but like that kind of works,
Again, what are you
sure.
sending?
So I'm not sure
Mimic
why
bomb.
Henry would necessarily do that.
What the fuck?
Jesus Christ. But yeah, so like that's possible. But either way, the Mimic is like a whole new thing. The Mimic is like a different part of the lore. That's like a
More
it's a
lore.
whole thing. But yeah, so basically, for security breach, you have what seems to be a way to kill off all the other employees, so the actually only human employee is Vanessa, who's again not qualified, so people think that someone must have gotten her the job some other way. Um, Theories range from Mother Afton is actually alive, which no evidence for that really, except for the post-it note room. She's at the front of the table, so
But
maybe like implying that she might be important. Um,
isn't
But
who
she could still
runs
be important and dead.
who
I
runs
guess
the
that's true.
in Wanted Wanted Alive? Wasn't
Huh?
there a talk of like the
Help
CEO?
wanted.
Help Wanted, not Wanted.
Wanted alive.
I forgot the name
Ah,
of
yes.
it.
Why?
No, they only
Hell-
talk about the indie dev, who is Scott
oh,
Coffin. They don't ever talk about like
didn't they talk
Fazbear
about the CEO
leadership.
or something? Is like being like the mom. I
No,
remember.
that never
Wanted
comes up.
alive.
Oh, okay. Guess I'm just
Yeah,
doing.
you're just imagining. But yeah, there's also an explanation which is like Mr. Burroughs, who is a character in the books, and basically he he's just like greedy. He hates like Freddy Brand, but he's like he thinks he can make a lot of money out of it, and he's there to do like being greedy and dumb. And it would also explain everything that happens, like why did they scan in old motherboards that ended up putting the virus into their game? Maybe it's because they were lazy, because the whole point of scanning them in was supposedly to get the walking patterns of some of the animatronics. And it was like, oh,
Really?
programming is taking too long. Scan
That's
in
not
old
how.
motherboards.
Yeah,
That's
that's what
not
I
how
remember. They did that.
programming works. I think.
Well,
Yeah,
Engin,
that's what.
apparently it is.
Like no, you scan the program for walking of like an actual animatronic, and then you stick that into like a game.
Yeah,
Yep.
like for the model, so
I
then it
mean, you can
moves like
copy the
realistically.
idea, but you can't just copy paste that in there.
Yeah.
If Soul Goo exists, I think we can forgive them a little bit
Soul
of
Goo.
creative
Yeah, and then the
license.
soul is in that code, and yeah, bro.
Yeah, I feel
And
like
also, it would explain a lot of the other stuff. Because the thing is, Mr. Burrows, which, by the way, a burrow is what a rabbit makes. It's like a rabbit's home.
yeah, like
And the thing is, in the books,
Looney Tunes.
Um, Mr. Burrows, he like gets killed in
What's
the
up, Doc?
storyteller, which is like a big baobab tree or something, and and like he's there, but no one really knows about his death because he's stuck in that like the tree. So the idea is that at some point he gets gotten rid of, and Glitch Trap, which is like William Afton virus,
Haha.
uses his name to send emails, which is how we see the company communicates with itself. So if they don't actually need him to be there in person, he doesn't actually have to be alive. As long as you've got his, email account, you can send orders to like hire that woman, for example, because that's all
But
done over email
I
in
ha-
the games.
I have a question. Is like William's body like removed? Is it like
No,
Dunzo? Or is it
it's
like in a
still alive.
No,
coma?
it's
It's
in
in a
Burn
coma,
Trap.
right? Yeah, burnt. Like it's in hell, right? Or something like being kept like Cassidy.
It's
Oh,
Um,
true. Yeah, the actual William. Because only Glitch Trap
yeah,
is
there's
around.
an
Yeah.
issue with like Burn
There's
Trap
Glitch
and like
Trap and the
William
Mimic, and the
and
thing is, they're not William, but they both act like William because they learn from. I think
Because there
maybe
was
that's the point.
William Afton was killed, and then there was Springtrap who was like still William inside the thing. Then
Yeah.
he died, but not died
he
in the
didn't die. He was fine.
Springtrap. Yeah, somehow survived, and then he was burnt
so he died,
alive.
but he still
No, I'm.
lived.
Yeah.
Sorry, I meant the
Then
fight.
he was burnt alive. Well, I don't know if
Which
it's
didn't
alive,
work.
and
It
Fight
never
is
worked. He's
it
burnt
extremely
never
alive
worked.
What is
twice.
Burn Trap
And then
meant to be, by the way?
was he put in a coma
Springtrap.
Burn
after that?
Trap is the one in Security Breach.
Was he
Yeah, no,
put?
but what's he meant to be?
It's
Like,
William Afton.
because Springtrap is the kind of worn down rabbit suit.
Yeah.
That when William dies in it, and Scraptrap's
Mhm.
the suit that's more worn down after surviving a fire. But after the other fire, I think he dies for real this time, right?
No, he doesn't.
No, I don't think he ever
No,
does.
fires never worked.
That's what
The whole
So
point
Burn
of like
Trap is
the whole
after getting
franchise
burned
is that like
twice?
fire has never
Yes.
worked.
Yes, Engin, it is.
Yeah.
Afton being burned twice.
What is it?
Yeah,
Bruh.
it's
Oh, okay.
the whole thing.
So
like
clearly
this
burning him
is a
thrice
skill
works?
issue.
No.
No, this is a skill issue on the FNAF community. We assumed that the FNAF 6 ending made sense because it felt so thematically pleasing, but we already burnt William once and it didn't work. So why would it work this time?
Oh,
Just because the
true,
lines
actually.
are cooler?
Wow.
Because like it sounds really cool when William
He didn't
when
get burnt
Henry's
by
like
the fire. He got burnt by the
yeah,
sick
by the
lines.
words. Yeah, he was like when Henry says so don't keep the devil waiting, old friend. And then it's like damn.
Oof.
And then William like kills himself in like shame for like getting roasted so hard.
That's a really good line.
But is he in a coma? Like in a
No, he's like
coma.
he's dead. He's possessing his soul, like his body, or like his remnant soul
possessing
thing is
himself.
possessing the body that he
What?
died in. But he is dead. He has been dead since the Springwall
Yeah.
incident.
We know this.
But his
dead.
soul is there. So like his body isn't really of
So how do you
relevant.
remove the fellow?
Like-
What nuke you need to KO him?
Well, I think a big point is that Cassidy is the reason why
Yeah,
William is still around.
he's still kicking, right?
Because she
Cassidy wants
kept him
to be
attached to like life because she wanted to torture him, and then I guess like he escaped ultimately. Like he did 50-20 mode and he won, and that's why like when you get 50-20 mode,
50-20
what you
mode?
see
What the fuck is
is like the screen of
It's
like
when you have
Golden
all
Freddy
animatronics
twitching
on,
angrily.
Ultimate
All
Custom.
animatronics on maximum
Yeah.
Oh,
in
okay.
Ultimate Custom Night. That's 50-20 mode because like there's 20 levels and there's 50 animatronics.
Gotcha.
So like I would assume that like he escapes and it's Cassidy's fault that he escapes because she couldn't let go of her anger and he couldn't like let him go on. Like Old Man Consequences says leave the demon to his demons and like save your own soul or whatever.
So
I think like
where does he escape?
anger well he just goes back to his own body. Like
His
I think
own
he just
body, I
wins against Cassidy.
Wins.
Yeah, he just does winning. Yeah. And he manages to like get her control off of him.
And then there's all this glitch trap, and then he has like Vanny as well.
Yeah, the only thing is, what motherboards are they scanning to get
Like
William's soul?
Maybe they've been like secretly recording him the whole time, and they've gotten all the data, and then they
No,
took
but like
that
the point is that like the data is possessed
by glitch.
by William.
Yeah.
So did they like pull off like a motherboard from Spring Bonnie?
I do not know.
Like what?
So the Springtrap suit is a Bonnie animatronic that William
Yeah, it's like
Afton
the
goes
early
into.
Bonnie.
Early Bonnie, it gets like burned.
Yeah, Golden Bonnie, because like there's Golden Freddy, Golden Bonnie.
Yeah.
So like
So the
that's
golden
the suit that he liked.
variants of the animatronics are real?
They're like early. They're like the earliest stuff, I think.
Okay.
Golden Bonnie was
but like
Afton's creation. He made it himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he really liked it. He was really.
Was it Spring Lock? No, yeah, yeah, of course.
Yeah. Because he has to get Springtrap into it.
Was the original one though?
Oh no, the original one is like a felt costume
it's a normal costume, yeah.
So it came
which
after
is like that's
the...
what Glitch Trap wears.
If he kept it okay like that, he would be okay. But
Sure went crazy.
Yeah, you gotta have animatronic.
And then that's most games, right? We've talked about. Of course, we haven't like gone into deep detail.
No.
Yeah, basically, there's this serial killer guy that doesn't
Now we get to talk about the books.
Okay, let's like quickly go over the books. Yeah, it's gonna be like a 2-hour video. So, like,
summarize the games real quick. So
how many?
Killer
First
Man.
floor.
Killer Man goes crazy. He kills people. Remnant goes into animatronics. Child will go wah wah wah.
Child souls
And
exist
they're
and they
like,
want to kill
no,
you because you look like
back
your dad,
off, back
and
off.
like your dad killed them.
And then
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they jump on him like that one guy jumped on the judge. It's like rah! And then they beat him up and then he dies. And then he comes back.
But then he lives
dies
because
again.
he's an ass.
And then he comes back.
But then
and then
he
he
comes
dies.
back.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, because he can't die. He refuses to die.
And yeah.
But yeah, basically, it's this
That's it.
journey of William Afton from man to monster to maladjusted sprite. It's
And
like
then
haunting.
and his whole family trying
a
to
suit.
stop him.
Yeah,
But-
everyone in his family except like Elizabeth tries to like tag team him. They all like grab his ankles and try to like pull him down, and he doesn't care.
Is the Afton family done yet? Like, are we moving on to the next family, or
we're not
are
moving
we
We're
still
never
on-
moving on. We're
We
never
wanna
moving
rebuild
on.
the family. What are you
It's
talking
never
about?
happened.
Yeah, they're replacing the family.
They're like
yeah,
the
that's
family
true. Yeah, yeah.
dynamic is being kept with William as the father. But
Isn't
like the
nice
people,
to
everyone
meet
else is
you.
like
according to
irrelevant.
Mecca, isn't like
animatronic family.
isn't Gregory supposed to be a
Crying
crying
child.
child?
No. I don't know.
According to
According to
MatPat, yes,
MatPat,
but
yeah.
that requires him to be a robot, which is I don't buy it, but like that's a theory.
And then like what's his name? Glamrock Freddy is Afton, or not Afton? Michael Afton, yeah.
Michael.
Yeah, Michael.
Yeah,
Michael.
which again, I guess.
Don't leave me in here, Michael. Michael. Yeah, it goes crazy. This family never
And that
dies.
Vanessa is
They should all be
Elizabeth,
nuked?
And
Huh?
yeah.
Sorry, Hannes?
And also that Vanessa is Elizabeth.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
It's very weird.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
all of
Okay,
these.
so then the books are basically like you have the Silver Eye trilogy, which is kind of a retelling of the game plot. It's roughly the same. We don't really have time to go into it. And then you have the Fazbear Frights and the what is the other one? The Tales of the Pizzaplex.
Yeah,
And those are like short horror stories within the world.
I think
The Tales of the
there's like
Pizzaplex are more
5 or
kind of like
3.
obvious and like direct, and
Each
the
book,
Fazbear Frights are a bit more sort of broad.
each book has 3 or 5 short stories.
I think three short
Yeah,
stories
3.
per book.
And then
But yeah,
they
this is a
all.
very basic, kind of cursory look at FNAF.
Yeah.
So much could be said.
Oh, we didn't talk about the movie.
We can talk about the movie
FNAF
separately.
Oh, but
This video is already like so long.
This is now part 1.
But like they
Couldn't
go.
you
Yeah,
move on
I
to
think we
find
should
out
wrap it up
next
though. Like, this
episode?
is like getting so long.
But they go like horror in the movie.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. Okay. So now, if you've watched this, God knows why, but now you are knowledgeable in the FNAF lore to
We
some
didn't
extent.
explain anything.
And no doubt you will see eventually more like reviews from the movie, from the other lore stuff from us, because we all know so much about Five Nights at Freddy's and we're such aficionados. But I feel like this video has gone on for like what, an hour 30 or something, at least.
Yeah, I feel like that's enough for one day
Yeah.
for all gentlemen or a gentlewoman.
Yeah. Gentle ladies like Victor here.
What? I'm a big manly man.
It's been nice talking. Let's
Nice talking, yeah.
see you guys around.
See you guys
Bye.
on Tuesday.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Tune in for the next episode.
10 hours of movie review.
Wait, do we
FNAF.
tease anything?
Nah.
We tease
No,
anything?
let's let them
leave it to it.
leave them into suspense.
Kind of spoiled it. Forget that we said anything about the FNAF movie.
Yeah, you heard them.
Find
Bye.
us.
No, wait. How do they say it? COMEFIND.
What?
ME. Next episode.
Yeah, FNAF
Okay.
movie reference.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.